Sometimes the more one person pushes for connection, the more the other person pulls away. And the more that one person withdraws, the more the other person feels abandoned. And it just tends to intensify because neither person's needs are getting met in this situation. So what are we supposed to do? First is recognizing the pattern, that it's two very valid nervous systems trying to find safety in very different ways. In many relationships, one person wants to reach towards the other person, especially in moments of stress or conflict. They want to talk it out, they want to understand what's going on, they want to repair, they want to reconnect with the other person. While the other person may want space. They need time to process internally first. They need space to think or reconnect with themselves. Neither strategy is right or wrong. They're just disparate needs. And when partners start to interpret each other's strategies or responses out of fear instead of empathy, that creates even further disconnection. This cycle often intensifies, where the dynamic becomes one person pursues more intensely because they feel a disconnect, while the other person withdraws even more intensely because they feel overwhelmed. And so what can happen is each person pathologizes, judges the other's response, right? One person may be judged as too needy, while the other person is judged as too emotionally unavailable. And it's really the cycle that's the problem. It's that they have disparate needs in the same moment. It's not that either need for connection or space is inherently problematic. It's just that they're in conflict with each other. And the more that couples or other relationships can understand this dynamic, the more that it can soften the disconnect. What really helps to shift these relationship dynamics, this distancer-pursuer sort of dynamic, is deeper understanding and real empathy for ourselves and the other person. The more that we can understand why we operate the way that we do, why our needs are the way that we are, the more we can allow for someone else to be different. And the more that we actually step into the other person's experience, like imagining why their needs are, why their nervous system responds in the way that they do, from their vantage point, from their history, not our own, that's the extra step that allows us to soften and appreciate someone else's way of being in the world that can be radically different than our own. So this isn't about forcing us to understand. It's about creating the conditions, opening up, softening, so that we can try and bridge that gap. It's not about one person doing it the other person's way, because that's not sustainable. That's not real. It's about both people understanding each other better so they can go closer to the middle, not denying your own way of doing things, but also bridging that gap, trying to create enough space for the other person so that you can both coexist with that deeper understanding, that deeper empathy that often kind of just softens that relationship dynamic and helps to be a lot more sustainable. It's not about like, oh, we're just incompatible. It's like, what do we do when there's these inherent differences? What do we do when our needs are that disparate? How do we negotiate? How do we compromise? How do we, empathize with the other person in these instances? That's the relationship dynamic that leads to health, satisfaction, and enjoyment.